Civilization 7 has 4 unique paths to victory, each one shaped by your progress made throughout an entire game. I'm JumboPixel, and with my thanks to 2K for working with me and sponsoring this video, let's explore the unique scoring systems of military, cultural, economic, and scientific victory in Civilization 7. The pathway to winning a game of Civ 7 is flexible, and progress is scored throughout all 3 of the ages in a full campaign. Progression is often measured directly against your opponent's score, based on your dominance in each field. To win, you need to hit or exceed the points goal in one victory category, beating the second place player's score by a certain multiplier, and that decreases as the game moves on. It's possible to win in the exploration age, with a transcendent or crushing victory by vastly exceeding the next best player's effort. Toward the end of the game, though, the difference threshold is progressively lowered, leading to closer races and categories. This is true for all victory conditions, except for science. Let's start with military victory. Again, like most victories we'll discuss today, the score-focused military victory is won through dominance, called dominion here. Owned settlements, be them cities or towns, reward score called dominion. This is for all controlled settlements, not just captured ones, so playing wide and settling far can help achieve military dominance. More importantly, settlements will award differing amounts of dominion. As you can see, captured settlements via conquest can be worth much more than peaceful expansion. Obviously, this is about our military action, the work of our units and commanders. Capturing original capital cities is an excellent way to gain military dominion, and as the game progresses, other factors will grant extra dominion as well, like capturing distant land settlements, or ones with a different ideology to your own. As you move through the ages and attempt to capture cities and towns, beware of fortified tiles like walled ones, as these need to be captured as well as the settlement center to take full control. And as you capture settlements, take note of your settlement cap. You can absolutely exceed it, it's not a hard limit, but doing so will cost you happiness in every settlement, so you might want to research more settlement limit increases, or look to build more happiness infrastructure. Influence is also going to be useful here to try and stabilize those woes, increasing your own war support and reducing your opponent's happiness and combat strength in the process. For more tips and tricks, you can check out my beginner's guide right here and on the Civilization 7 Settlers Hub for even more great resources. But finally, on the military victory, I should also mention that total domination, wipe out your opponents, is also an option here to win the game. Now, let's move on to another scored victory, the cultural victory. Like military dominion, our second victory category also has a scoring mechanic. This time, it's tourism. This measure of cultural dominance is needed to secure a cultural victory. And just like the other dominance-based victory paths, you'll need to maintain a certain lead over the second place player's score to win. Let's break down some of the many ways to earn culture victory points. Tourism through the ages. Firstly, built wonders. These major cultural landmarks offer tourism. And I'd note that conquered wonders will award less tourism than the ones that you've built yourself. Secondly, natural wonders. It's useful to discover them, and even more beneficial to have them within your borders. As discussed in my beginner's guide video, the resort town is a fantastic town focus to take advantage of natural wonders and the highly appealing tiles around them to boost your tourism score. Thirdly, celebrations. These excess happiness-fueled events award tourism, alongside unlocking very useful extra policy card slots. Fourthly, there are age-specific elements, like relics or artifacts. They'll act as excellent sources of tourism, and you'll need to often act fast to secure them, as they are competitive and finite. And lastly here, many unique constructibles, buildings, and improvements can certainly help, as well as great boosts from technology and civics mastery, particularly in the modern age. Don't forget, tourism is a measure of dominance over others, in this case, your cultural dominance. It's always relative to how well your opponents are doing and how far through the game you've progressed. And of course, you'll need to hold your lead throughout the duration of the victory countdown. The next victory condition is also dominance-based, but in a totally different domain. Let's take a look at the gloriously golden economic victory. Here, gold buildings and resources slotted into settlements are key to boost your economy. Supported by technological or cultural advancements, things like resources will directly contribute to GDP, the score used to measure an economic victory. Don't forget to use trade and merchants to access even more resources from potential friends and trading partners. As economies expand to distant lands in the exploration age, treasure convoys are produced on treasure resources unique to the age. Make sure to nab some settlements in the distant lands for their treasure resources. When treasure convoys are returned to the homelands and unloaded, they provide an instant boost to GDP points and a nice sum of gold you could spend right away. And in the age of piracy here, take care, they can also be stolen. As economies industrialize in the modern age, factory buildings allow you to mass produce factory resources. Use their associated town focus or gold to purchase industrialized buildings you need to utilize all of your factory resources. Supported by powerful civic benefits and triumphs and other related mechanics, these can massively fuel your economic might. You could look to other connected systems as well, like the Triumph system, where here I was able to earn a great banker, great person. And this guy really surged my GDP growth into the modern age and ultimately helped get me across the line to secure the economic victory. It is glorious, it is golden, and by maximizing the greatest GDP output of all other players, I've secured economic victory. Finally, before we move on, as with every victory condition, take note of some of the important qualifiers here on the victory screen. For example, gold buildings provide GDP per turn only if they're from the current age, and currency must first be researched. You'll find qualifiers like this throughout the many different ways to earn score, so don't forget to check back just to make sure you're meeting every piece of the criteria. The fourth main victory category is the scientific victory, and it works a little differently to the three dominance-based pathways we've already discussed. Scientific victory culminates in the modern age with a space race, a race to the stars. But that's not the only condition, as 100 innovation is also required. The space race and the many projects involving satellites, sound barriers, and space itself naturally award innovation. The modern age is abundant with opportunities to earn innovation in order to reach that 100 innovation point target. But so are the earlier ages. In the Antiquity Age, codices are a good way to earn science and innovation through technological masteries and events. Key scientific discoveries throughout the ages can also be made using city projects to push the limits of human understanding. Scientific victory is ultimately a race rather than being dominance-based. The first player to reach 100 innovation and successfully build and maintain a launch pad in the modern age can win the space race, securing the scientific victory. You'll need to hold on to that launch pad for the duration of the victory countdown. Speaking of which, the same goes, or similar goes, for the rest of the victory conditions we've discussed today. You must hold on to your lead until the victory countdown, the turn timer, is complete. So, make sure you hold on to and defend your lead until that countdown is completed. I should also note there's technically a fifth way to win. You see, if nobody wins by the ways we've already discussed at the end of the modern age, a fifth condition called score is used to calculate a winner. This is largely and significantly fueled by the amount of time a player spends in those victory countdowns. So, players who were closest to victory are overwhelmingly likely to win. And that is all for my victory guide to Civilization 7. For more tips and tricks, check out the Civ 7 Settlers Hub for more guides and loads of other great resources. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.